For decades, friends and I have enjoyed a wonderful ritual of attending the Christmas concert in a nearby public university. The concert lasts for 2 hours, with the last 60 minutes devoted to a cantata of sacred music. The experiences have been so unspeakably powerful, so much so that the audience is asked to not applaud at the end so that we could sustain the sense of reverence and to let the Christmas message sink into us. Different ones of us in different years have been moved to tears when we get up from our seats. Always, always, we notice the radiance on the faces of the students in the choir, the light in their eyes, even though not all of them are of the Christian faith. There is just something transcendent and a glow in them which goes beyond gifted voices and perfect harmonies. The scriptures today also present us with some songs. These are songs that tumble forth from people to whom God pledged deliverance from oppression, unimaginable fruitfulness, God's own faithfulness, and God's active participation in their individual and collective lives. Micah extols the vision of a people who is forgotten, downtrodden, and wayward, a people to be restored to triumph through a kingship of righteousness, mercy, and peace. The responsorial psalm and Paul's letter to the Hebrews remind us that what God desires is not unaffordable sacrifices to satisfy rituals, standards imposed from the outside. Simply, the people are to turn to God, to listen to God's message, a message that they are worthy and are loved, and that God's grace will make them holy. In the gospel, bursting in songs of praise and deep gratitude are Mary and Elizabeth, both of them totally overtaken by God's actions in their lives. Elizabeth's pregnancy ends the scourge of barrenness which she has suffered for decades. Mary's pregnancy moves her beyond scandal, illegitimacy, and impossibility to play the central role in birthing the Savior for all times and for all people. They sang not from their own accomplishments, but from the engagement of God, who loves, who forgives, who redeems, and who renews them. A God who acts in tangible ways to fulfill God's promises. We too have our songs and our Christmas carols. We sing along with the radio, and the words almost just come forth automatically. We recall seasons past, and we're filled with special memories and even nostalgia. But do these words have spiritual power over us? Are we gripped by Emmanuel, God with us? Is Isaiah's vision of turning swords into plowshares and lions and lambs reposing together simply poetry? Like poetic flourish that has absolutely no purchase on our fears and our insecurities. those things that spawn competitiveness, indifference, and divisiveness. Would it be different if we, like the students from the concert, spend tens of hours learning the music, memorizing the words, and taking in their meaning until they settle in the heart? Will we grasp that by God's incarnation, that we are made holy? Will we act with hope? Because the future does not depend just on us, but on God working in and with us. Will we be less harsh on other people because their hearts can no more escape God's grace and mercy than ours? Can we believe in the impossible because God is not bounded by the parameters of our worldly realm? Are we moved to take our part in God's plan of salvation for all of us? So for this Christmas, let us make sure we take time to sing with full heart and whole being, recognizing that we do so under a halo of God's divinity and holiness in us and in our world.